5 Unusual People in the World, Part 96. Hello everyone, I'm Keisha, and have a great day. A lot of people have such a strange appearance that we would never believe they are real. Some were born like that, while some have a strange disease that makes them unrecognizable. Who are they? Let's meet them in this video. Let's explore with this video. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 5. Yuan Yuan. Yuan Yuan, living in Hunan Province, central China, suffers from a rare birth defect that results in extra fingers. He has a total of 31 digits on both hands and feet, while the average human figure is only 20. According to the doctors, Yuan Yuan suffers from a genetic disorder called polydactylism, an abnormality that occurs in children with a rate of 1/1000, of which Yuan Yuan is a very rare case. He inherited this defect from his mother, but it is not as severe as his. She has only 12 fingers and 12 toes. At birth, he has 2 palms on each hand, 8 fingers on his 2 left palms, 7 fingers on his right hand, and no thumbs on 4 palms. The both feet have 8 toes growing on the palms, and they all have distinct bones. There were multiple ultrasounds throughout the pregnancy, but they never found a single malformation. Therefore, after Yuan Yuan was born, his parents were shocked to find out that he also had the same disease as his mother. The boy's parents, desperately trying to find a cure, have been told by doctors the surgery could cost nearly $30,000. A beautiful body is always the desire of many women, but unhappiness always happens, making those ugly people sometimes want to leave this life. Number 4. Hosini Era Begum. Hosini Era Begum, a poor old lady living in Narayanganj city, Bangladesh, was born with only a small pimple on her lip. But gradually, Mrs. Hosini Era Begum has turned into a completely different person with thousands of pimples growing all over her body. Due to that scary appearance, she has been shunned and stigmatized by outsiders all these years. Hosini Era Begum said, "Life has become hell since the surgery to remove the pimple was unsuccessful. Pimples began to spread all over her body and progress into small and large tumors. There are even tumors as big as a tennis ball." The tumors not only lacked aesthetics, but also caused Hosini Era to live in pain. She could not eat, drink, or dress as usual. All day, she just scratched the lumps to relieve discomfort. Sometimes, they even bleed. Having to live in pain, many times, Mrs. Hosini Era only thought of death to be freed. Most painfully, Mrs. Hosini Era didn't receive sympathy from outsiders, but was always shunned and considered a monster. Even the 3 grandchildren cried when they saw her. Despite going to many local medical centers for treatment, no doctor could diagnose Miss Hosini Era's condition. Moreover, with economic difficulties, the poor woman could not continue to receive a treatment. The next man will surprise you with the bizarre disease he has. Maybe we should change the plot of the movie about the Pinocchio boy. Number 3. Conrado Estrada. Conrado Estrada, a painter from New York, has a long, Pinocchio-like nose. Some people say that Estrada's condition looks as if he had a penis on his nose. Whether they call him Pinocchio or the penis on the nose, he looks pitiful. Maybe it's like the bum we're used to, but it's bound to hurt. According to the doctors, Conrado suffers from rhinophema, a condition called keratoconjunctivitis that causes him to have thick skin on the tip of his nose. At first, it was just a small dark bump, but later grew so big and bulbous that it became difficult for him to breathe and eat. He would shy away from social contact and couldn't even see his mouth when looking in the mirror. Conrado said about how other people reacted when they saw him. "They would stare at me. Children would ask their mother what happened to me, and I would avoid it by using masks all the time. This is really painful because for an artist like him, beauty is always very important." He had tried to find a solution for years before meeting Dr. Thomas Ramo, who works as the director of facial reconstructive surgery at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City. A few days after they met, and several forms were signed, Mr. Estrada was on the operating table to proceed with the operation. Since his nose surgery, he has been very emotional and grateful. Among the famous conjoined twins in the world, it is impossible not to mention Daisy and Violet Hilton. It is the famous conjoined twins in 20th century England. Both are very beautiful and famous for their own talents. Number 2. Daisy and Violet. Daisy and Violet were born on February 5, 1908, in Brighton, England. The two sisters are connected by the hips and buttocks, and the rest of the body's organs are separate. They are the result of an affair between mother Katie Skinner, 21 years old, a maid, and the son of the boss. When finding the two children conjoined, the mother ruthlessly sold them to a woman named Mary Hilton. After being sold by their mother, the twins were raised by Miss Mary and turned into a money-making tool. She used a small room at the back of a tavern as an exhibition of the sisters. For a certain price, people can get in to see the couple. And then, the overseas tour started when the Hilton sisters were only 3 years old. When Mary Hilton died, the twins' lives passed into the hands of her daughter, Edith Myers. Edith brought the two girls to America to perform as two mutants who would sing and dance. They also forced the Hilton sisters to practice more skills, such as playing the violin and saxophone for many hours. If they didn't comply, they would be hit. It wasn't until 1931, with the help of Harry Houdini, a famous magician, that Daisy and Violet went to a lawyer and conducted a lawsuit. Thanks to that, the two could escape from the cruel control of Edith and his wife. Since then, the twins were able to manage their finances on their own, but their aura wasn't the same as before. After the broken marriages, the twins' careers also went downhill. To make a living, the Hilton sisters went to a grocery store, where they worked for the rest of their lives. In their free time, Daisy and Violet performed together for the people at the store. Daisy died in 1968. Just a few days later, Violet also died, ending 60 years of the life of the unlucky twins. We all want to have a clean bath after a hard-working day, getting rid of lots of dirt, but there are those in this world who hate it. He has never showered. Number 1. Ludwig Dolezal. Ludwig Dolezal, born in 1956, living on an abandoned farm in Novi Bidzov, Czech Republic, is called Europe's dirtiest man. Mr. Ludwig suffers from a psychological disorder that makes him prefer to live with fire and ashes. Ludwig quit his job, and since then, he lives in an abandoned farm with ashes that make his body always smeared. Because he hasn't showered in years, his skin has turned black because of the smoke and dust from the things he burned, such as tires, plastic, papers, and hundreds of other miscellaneous items he brought home from trash cans. He even slept on the ashes in the stables on the farm. Everything on Mr. Ludwig turned black, and only his eyes remained white. Each month, Mr. Ludwig receives a subsidy of 81 pounds from the Czech government, about 2.7 million Vietnam dong. However, the money will not be given directly to Mr. Ludwig because it is feared he will burn it all. Instead, they gave money to a local shop so that Mr. Ludwig would go there every day to buy food and other necessities. On December 15, 2016, people didn't see Mr. Ludwig at the supermarket. He no longer came to get food. On December 19, 2016, they went to find him and found him dead in his own dusty, ruined house. Police said they would do an autopsy to find out the cause of death, but they don't think there's any suspicious cause. I think we all get lucky all the time, in one way or another. Their physical features are the unluckiest thing a person can face. If you know someone special, leave your comments below. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to watch more interesting videos. And now, goodbye and see you soon.